Hey everybody, it's the Review Revolution, back at you again, here to wrap up the Toy Biz Marvel Legends Onslaught series. That's right. Got pretty distracted this time. As a matter of fact, the last two waves of figures, the DC Wave 12 and the Marvel Legends Wave 13, got pretty distracted on those. So, thanks for sticking around through it. We've got all the figures done, rushed through the variants, but let's get a last look at everybody and finally get Onslaught together. Now, the first figure we took a look at was the very awesome, very awesome Green Goblin, and his Norman Osborn variant. Without a doubt, probably my favorite figure. The pair, individually they're beautiful, but as a pair, definitely my favorite part of the wave. I love seeing these two with just such a great Green Goblin, and then showing the Norman Osborn again, so well done. Got the mask in hand. I would say that you would definitely want to have both, but either one, beautiful, beautiful additions. Next, we moved on to the almost regular now Thor representative. So to represent Thor, we got Loki and his variant. Now I don't care much for the variant. I just don't like that particular helmet. And the official Wave version is nice. I love the fact he's got the big horn helmet. Though, you know, seeing a resculpted one with the skinny ponytail, big smile, big Joker grin, yeah, I would certainly have liked to seen it. But, you know, for a Loki, he is very good, very, you know, Norris, you know, very godlike in his appearance, and looks pretty good next to Thor. I should have brought him in. But after that, we did go with, or get, to see Abomination, who is probably going to cover up a pretty big chunk of the other figures, because he is huge. Big character. Huge character. Everything about him, so well done. A figure so nice, they did him twice. Only drawback is that with the melted acid-faced version, yeah, the color on it kind of, it's not as nice. They could, if they've done a little bit different coloring on the melted face and the blood, it would have been better. But either way, the Abomination from the official card version, the primary, if you will, good one to have. Definitely one I recommend. Next, we got to look at Pyro, who, you know, despite the fact he has kind of slightly off coloring, you know, despite the fact that he's got, you know, a little issues with the way his armor piece and the hoses attached to his hand, I think he's actually a pretty good figure. He is certainly a welcome figure. He goes well with Blob. Again, another one I probably should have brought in to show side by side. Maybe when I get that Magneto, which I appreciate everybody's suggestion on it, I'm going to keep my eyes open for all of them. Still a very nice figure. Still really, really nice. Definitely like him. We got near the end with Lady Deathstrike, who I think actually, depending on how much you like the character to begin with, it's going to affect how much you like the figure. Yes, the face is rather bland, and yeah, the eyes don't look like they got finished, but overall, depicted very well, and certainly, you know, a good representative, I guess, to have in there. Yeah, well, I don't mind. Lastly was the Ghost Rider villain, and probably the second cool, or, well, hard to tell, because between Loki, Green Goblin, and Blackheart, who is going to have a issue standing, here we go, those are probably my three favorites in the wave. Loki, because it's a Thor character. Green Goblin, because this is without a doubt the best figure in the wave. And Blackheart, because I like his interpretation. I like how they envisioned him. He looks good. Those three come out as my tops. Abomination really comes in as a close fourth. Him and Blackheart, you could switch them back and forth. Pyro, and then finally Lady Deathstrike is probably the weakest. But for the most part, still a good strong wave. A lot of great characters to like, a lot of great figures to like, and we're still not done. Let's take a moment and, tell you what, let's do it. I guess, let's go ahead and let's start with the bigger pieces. We've got the very large shell of Onslaught. And of course his torso piece, which just plugs in the back here. See, that'll snap in. There we go. Oh, satisfying click. Oh, that was a good click. Oh, I wish I'm going to listen to that a couple of times when I'm going to go back and listen to that one. That was a good click. I like that click. Now, something worth pointing out, Onslaught, along with his 4 fingers, actually has 2 thumbs. Not all thumbs, but 2. You can tell which hand is which simply by the size of the other one, but it will just snap on as any other Marvel Legend arm should. Oh, he's looking good. Got the other arm and the other big thumb. Just goes on like so. Now, I gotta admit, I heated these pieces. I definitely soaked these pieces in some hot water as I was getting them out of the pack, as a matter of fact, just so to loosen up the joints on it, because this guy the joints on him was really, really tight. I mean, he was hard to move, especially around the elbows, or shoulder, elbows. Very, very hard to move. So as I was taking out the parts, I was kind of heating them up and getting them to move. Tell you what, let's set this down and move on to the lower torso. Looks pretty safe. It's got the little... Like I said before, you'll know he'll have a clicky crunch because of that. But there is the 1 foot, the 1 leg, right leg goes in. And something else, if you collect the Marvel Legend figures, especially if you do the Build-A-Figures, you'll find that the pegs on the legs are different sizes, so that you can't accidentally put the wrong leg in the wrong peg. So, you know, kudos to Toy Biz for making sure that we didn't put the wrong thing in the wrong place. But there is his legs with the torso. Very, very impressive by itself. Now, someone asked me if there's a way of taking Apocalypse apart after the torso has been put on, and because it's got kind of the spring-loaded pin in it, there's no way I know of. Once you connect these two pieces, short of breaking the figure, I don't know a way of really getting them apart. So once this snaps, at least the top and lower portions are together to stay. So let's do it. There we go. Oh, look at that. Oh, look at that. Ooh, what a bad boy. Yeah. I believe now, a lot of people will probably recognize Onslaught in his armored version. He was kind of an amalgam of the subconscious Magneto bonded with Professor Xavier. And he actually had kind of a suit of armor. People who played Marvel vs. Capcom probably recognize Onslaught in his armored version. He did have a return, like the rebirth of Onslaught, and I do think this may be more that what he's based off of is that return of Onslaught. But wow, I love the colors. I love the Magneto colors. He has the purple and the red. The face. Oh, I love the way that looks. That is just so cool. Size-wise, he's pretty much in line with... he's a little bit bigger than Blackheart, a little bit bigger than Abomination, but man, he's got some weight to him up top. He's definitely a very big character up top. And I love the way he looks. I love the colors. Again, the dry brush of the purple through the shell. This looks fantastic. The undercoat of black on the front. I mean, there's a complete undercoat across the whole thing with the primary color just brushed over it with just very, very faint traces of the black showing through. And it looks great. Wow. Awesome. If you can get a hold of this figure, if you can get a hold of this wave, I recommend it. I didn't expect he would be this awesome. Okay, so on his articulation, his head does turn, and it actually moves side to side. So there's some different layering inside the shell here that gives him some fairly decent head articulation, considering how kind of recessed it is. The shoulder pads, they do appear on a hinge, so the arms can come up and out, twist at the there's a twist at the wrist, or at least at the at his forearm, bend at the elbow. Each of the fingers are individually articulated, including the two thumbs. Now these are very, very soft plastic, which, you know, having claws like this kind of makes sense. There's no twist of any kind at the torso, but very nice clicky kind of crunch. I like that. As I pointed out before, the shell even has a hinge on it. The legs come up and out. There's a hinge at the knee. At this part of the foot, so just like Blackheart, there's a additional hinge here. The foot, there's a hinge of the foot and a twist. So great articulation, great figure. No, he's not a giant like Apocalypse or Galactus, but then again, he really didn't have to be. Fantastic figure. Let's see if we can get him to stand without much of a problem. That'll be the test. Will he be able to stand? One thing that I want to be sure to mention about Onslaught, this was the storyline in Marvel that led to kind of the reboot, or kind of the flashback, if you will, of the storyline for the Fantastic Four, Avengers, X-Men, that sort of thing in the mid-90s. It's kind of the thing that made me stop reading Marvel, actually, because they just sort of reset everybody. It was actually Franklin Richards who managed to save the universe from Onslaught, and was then later his target when Onslaught was reborn or returned. And I don't know why. He'll stand there. He doesn't want to stand further back. So, camera hog, he likes to get up front. Fantastic wave, fantastic characters, great build-a-figure. Man, Onslaught is awesome. Highly recommend him. Everybody, thanks for watching. Stick around. Got some other sets to come. For now, thank you. Rate, comment, subscribe. Join the revolution. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.